What's going on? So apparently Nick Sirianni can't control his emotions, with Big Dom having to babysit the head coach. While reports are, if you even believe them, that Jalen Hurts couldn't handle the pressure of his new contract, and Fletcher Cox was one of several players unhappy with QB1's emotions. Let's break down why those accusations don't add up, plus AJ Brown's trolling the Philly media while saying he'll speak one last time, and how he decided to bring back Alberto. But first, let's run it. What's up, guys? Well, normally I have a feel-good story or something fun to start, but let's just jump into the craziness that is the Philly media. With Derek Gunn reporting Wednesday that the real reasons for dysfunction and the team failing down the stretch had to do with Jalen Hurts being pulled in numerous directions on and off the field, while not being able to handle the pressure. And we'll get to that in a sec, but the stranger part to all this is D-Gun saying Big Dom getting suspended was huge because he controls Sirianni's emotions on the sideline. And like we saw in Dom's absence, Nick got into numerous arguments with players and coaches during games. And okay, sure, we know Sirianni can get heated and no doubt wears his emotions on his sleeves, but you mean we're supposed to believe that without his emotional support, Dom, Nick's unable to act like a head coach or really even a grown adult on the sideline? Say what you will about Coach, but I can't actually believe he needs a babysitter.
I've had my own bedtime since I was 17. I didn't need a babysitter then, and I don't need one now.
At the same time, yes, I know he did admit to needing to work on that area.
I need to be better in those scenarios. You know, when there's some high pressure areas, they got to see me calm. And not tense there. There's a time and place to be, intense, and there's a time and place not to be. And I know that's something that I always have to work on as a head coach.
Okay, first off, let me say that I respect Derek Gunn, so a report coming from him makes me wonder a question that possibly there's some truth to it. However, if this was legit as big of a deal as some people are making out to be, Sirianni wouldn't have had a chance to save his job when meeting with Jeffrey Lurie.
Name: Dwight Schrute. Thank you, Mr. Schnute. We will let you know.
You have to interview me.
I just did. The answer to that one question told me everything I need to know.
Although there's some, like John McMullen, who seem to wonder if it's destined to fail.
Biggest criticism of Jeffrey Lurie is, it's your team. You can do what you want, but show the courage of your convictions. If you think the guy did a bad job, blow out the guy and bring in somebody else. Don't straddle the fence.
All right, y'all know I haven't been the biggest supporter of Sirianni, particularly when it comes to X's and O's, and yes, Lurie probably wants a yes man at the helm. However, how do we know that he's straddling the fence on this decision? Now, I also get it if you want to make the argument that this was more of a saving face move, because after firing Doug Peterson the way it went down, if the Eagles let go of Sirianni after 3 straight playoff seasons and one of those resulting in a Super Bowl appearance, perhaps the optics don't look great for a future head coaching candidate. And to take it a step further, it's not like we haven't seen an emotional Sirianni quite a few times.
How about them Eagles? How about them Eagles? I don't hear anymore, Chiefs fans. See ya!
I don't know, am I crazy? Where are you guys at on all this? I mean, you knew the guy you were hiring way back when, and most of the players have stood up for him too.
There may be things that Nick probably want to fix about himself, and I'll say, but the one thing I can't respect, loyalty is not one of them. And I say that because he takes up for us when it has nothing to do with him, and he gets the blame, but that comes with his job. Like for the Seattle game, that was on us. Like we messed that up. We improvised and we went on our own, and Nick came out and said, "Oh, I wanted to try to get a flag or something crazy like that." It's like he really made himself look like a fool for us. I have nothing but respect for him, like, you know what I'm saying? Because not all coaches do that, you know what I'm saying? So like, bro, we ride with Nick.
Like any news about what about Nick?
Nick, I mean, there's obviously some speculation about whether he may be fired or not.
Huh?
Yeah.
Come on, man. No, man, he head football coach of this team, man. Come on, man. There ain't even no discussion about that.
Yeah, okay, you don't think it's going to happen?
Like, I don't got nothing to say about that, man. You're a clown, bro. Get out of my face, bro.
I think we're all with Fletch on that clown comment. And Howard Eskin did say Derek Gunn's comments about the Dom-Sirianni relationship were way over the top, while also bashing Craig Carton's portrayal of something that went down in the locker room causing irreversible division, saying it's total exaggeration. However, apparently there's a little bit of truth to that story. Maybe.
A few players have talked to Jalen Hurts about, hey, listen, you got to connect more. You got to be more emotional on the sidelines. You got to be more part of us. And a few players have done that. The one player that's probably more, I think the word demonstrative is probably too much of of implying what's going on was Fletcher Cox. Fletcher's a stern guy, and he was not happy with his emotion, but so other players were the same way. And he talked to him a little bit
Hold
stern.
on, Howard. You said
say
Fletcher was not happy with whose
Jalen
emotion?
Hurts' emotion on the sidelines and his connection,
or his lack of emotion.
and his personality and his connection with his teammates.
Okay.
It was not a fight. It was not a screaming match. It was not any of those things, and he's just one of the players that has talked to him, but he does it in I'll use the word sterner fashion. Come on, Jalen, you got to be more emotional, connect more with the guys, and other people from the team have talked to Jalen Hurts about that.
Okay, is anyone else in the camp of, I don't know what to believe anymore? Because that's where I feel like I'm at. I mean, we didn't have these stories when Jalen was a legit MVP candidate for 2 years, but now everyone's just waiting to pounce. I don't know, maybe Fletch did say that and was unhappy with Jalen's leadership. Yet let's go back to Super Bowl week when he was asked the same question about Jalen.
But Jalen is still a young quarterback. I think that was his third year, like being a full-time starter.
Wild.
I mean, you got to look at those type of things. And, I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, he just got paid, like this, that, and the third. But, he's still in the learning phase also. I remember going into my third year or as a starter, it was still got that learning curve where, you still got to learn, so many things and
right.
so much. But, as a quarterback, it's got to be hard. I think it's 3 or 4 times, the pressure that I have on me as a defensive lineman because, I can make a mistake and it won't get noticed until the film turn on Monday, but he can make a mistake and the whole world can see it. But, you got to, I respect Jalen as a person, as a leader, and, and the biggest thing is, you get the same guy every day.
Yeah, that's why I'm struggling to believe the report, especially with Fletcher Cox being the one unhappy, because let's remember, he's been here forever, and it's not anything new to him to experience the Philly media. So you're telling me that he's going to go and speak about his quarterback behind his back or leak a report to a reporter? I mean, come on, this is not like you're talking to a Jalen Carter or a Nolan Smith, no disrespect to them, but you're not baiting him into the question. At the very least, Fletch is saying this to Hurts' face.
No, I don't like you. The sound of your piss hitting the urinal? It sounds feminine.
Unfortunately, some of the other guys weren't willing to do that, or they at least also shared with the media, if you're believing Derek Gunn's other part of the report, about Jalen being pulled in multiple directions while not being able to handle the pressure. Come on, I'm sorry, maybe there was a slight change in Jalen's demeanor, but like I've been talking about for weeks at this point, and I'm still sticking to it, QB1 will be fine, which is why I agree with AJ Brown when he tweeted, Philly media is so lame. It's literally something every day. Then the fans be believing the BS. They really should start raising the prices of microphones and cameras because you people will say anything for views. I see why nobody likes us because we don't even like us. #RealityTV. Okay, so apparently that wasn't AJ with him taking to Instagram to say, that's not me, but he's cooking some for real. Well, whoever this fake AJ hacker guy is, I'm in total agreement. And I'm guessing by the fact that this account is still fake that AJ hasn't paid the requested ransom of a signed AJ Brown jersey to get it back. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking that he's trolling, but I can't blame the fake Swole Batman or the real Swole Batman for feeling that way. Heck, after constantly painting him in a poor light, I think he has every right to be a little irritated.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Either way, it was kind of funny to see Jacob Sports fall for the bait to immediately post about his tweet saying, we can't confirm if this is the real AJ or not, but oh boy. Okay, unfortunately, it's not just the Philly media that hurts reporting, because stories like Carissa Thompson's are what continues to give journalists a bad rap.
I haven't been fired for saying it, but I'll say it again. I would make up the report sometimes because A, the coach wouldn't come out at halftime, or it was too late, and I was like, I didn't want to screw up the report, so I was like, I'm just going to make this up, because first of all, no coach is going to get mad if I say, hey, we need to stop hurting ourselves. We needed to be better on third down. We need to stop turning the ball
Pressure
over.
the quarterback.
We need, exactly. and do a better job of getting off the field. Like, they're not going to correct me on that.
Right.
So I'm like, it's fine. I'll just make up the report.
The fact that she bragged about that multiple times publicly is wild. Whatever. My biggest concern for the Eagles, though, is that hopefully this doesn't scare AJ away or force him out, especially with the constant ridicule and flat-out hate. Although I still doubt that would happen, I think it's evident he realizes nothing's off the table.
I think you just got to be prepared. It's a business at the end of the day, so. And I'm just trying to
just handle it the best way I can.
Sorry, but I can't envision trading the dude who's led the NFL versus single coverage in grade, receiving yards, and touchdowns the last 2 seasons. And you know what? Let's show some support to 11. Go ahead and comment always open down below, and you'll automatically be entered for a drawing for the AJ Brown jersey of your choosing, which I'll do a randomized spinner tomorrow during the live Friday night hangout. Okay, the best part of all of this is that AJ is so fed up that while I've been recording this, he tweeted and actually said he's going to go on WIP tomorrow and address everything. Or I guess maybe today or Friday, whenever you're watching this. After hearing this clip from WIP and tweeting his response.
Every car you've driven, house you've owned, piece of watch you've purchased is because of this place, is because of the media in Philadelphia, is because of the fans here. AJ Brown, you probably didn't mind the media here when everybody was talking about that you're the best receiver in football. I didn't hear there weren't any complaints, any tweets from mysterious AJ Brown talking about the media. You're overrating me. Nobody said that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just, instead of complaining about us, instead of complaining about the media and talking about whether things are true, because I'm telling you, not every single thing is specifically true that you hear.
Let's go. I hope that he roasts them, honestly, but what do you hope that he says? And curious, what do you expect for him to say? In other news, and kind of surprisingly, Phil Yates reported that the Eagles have signed tight end Albert Okwuegbunam to a 1-year deal that could keep him in Philadelphia through the 2024 season. Which, yeah, feels a little strange considering the 1 target he registered in just 57 total snaps of game action this past season. Of course, no, this doesn't mean he's a lock to be tight end too, but I think it does signal Howie Roseman and the team still feel there's untapped potential there. Otherwise, why not just let him hit free agency? And it makes sense, like Anthony brought up, in that Howie executed the pick swap to acquire Alberto in late August, so, just trying to capitalize on that value. Plus, even though he couldn't find a role in the offense last season, Kellen Moore has used his tight end too more than the Eagles have under Nick Sirianni. So maybe we see him a bit more, and I'm curious to see what the guaranteed money is, but I can't imagine it's a lot. Also, just in case anyone's wondering, Goddard is obviously coming back, but so is Grant Calcaterra, and I expect Jack Stoll will as well since he's a restricted free agent. The other piece of news we got is that Austin Watkins, the 6'3", 210-pound receiver we signed from Cleveland, was given a 2-year deal and $150,000 guaranteed. Now, clearly the guaranteed part is the only thing that really matters, but it's at least interesting to see a multi-year deal with Watkins. And then Julian Okwara's deal will pay him $575,000 guaranteed and a base of 1.3. While that biggest future contract in the NFL of running back Ty Davis-Price turned out to be a base of 1.1 and $225,000 guaranteed. So nothing shocking or surprising or anything there, but it probably means at least a practice squad spot. All right, let's also talk about the situation with Haason Reddick, since I think we've got to at least prepare for the possibility that he doesn't come back. Don't get me wrong, I'd love for him to, but multiple reports suggest that teams like the Falcons, Lions, and others would be willing to splurge and offer the type of money Haas is wanting. Obviously, that also means a trade, so it's not as straightforward, but if he doesn't come back, ESPN's Tim McManus listed Chase Young as a good option for Plan B, saying the 24-year-old has plenty of upside and could likely be had at a manageable number. Granted, that manageable number depends on what type of production, but according to SpotTrack, you'd be looking at something around $13 million per year, which isn't terrible. At the same time, Young's prior health concerns are always a potential risk, but the positive way to look at it is that he just played 19 games this past season without getting injured, showing you at least some durability. Plus, his favorite team is the Eagles.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
The Eagles.
Is that who your favorite team is?
All right, no. Yes, he has some potential and probably not the worst option, but anyone who's watched him much will, I think, attest to the fact that he can be a little lazy at times. I don't know, would y'all like that signing or are you staying away? To me, I'm sticking with Andrew Van Ginkel as the likely backup option combined with adding a dude in the draft, which, by the way, gonna have a combine preview in an upcoming video, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys on the live stream. This has been the Philly Special.